Although they're looking symmetrical, I'm not trying to paint them identical. It's nice if they're different.
Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher and a book author. Welcome to my studio.
I already made drawing of turtle doves and now I'm glazing the whole body of the upper dove with just clean water, relatively clean. It has a little bit of grayish hue, very light gray, so you can see a little bit better. And you can also add just a drop of one of your blacks, so it will pop up, but very, very carefully. And now I keep adding a little bit more of black. I use a neutral tint, it has a little bit of granulation in it. And with big brush strokes I painted the wings. Started from tip of the brush, then pressing on the brush, I created very quick wings. Now I switch to my smaller brush and I loaded it with black, with much bolder black. And I go around the silhouette, but not everywhere. Just a couple of points where I would like to make accents. For example, on the wings, around the body, on the beak. Very carefully, and I let my bold watercolor mix with a watery background, so it all create very loose transition. Just playing around, I want everything look spontaneous and I would like to add a lot of fluid watercolor parts. Then I dried my brush and with clean damp brush I go around and correct some details, soften some edges. I can extend some of the shadows like this. Now I would like to add a bit of green. I use green, hookah green dark, and when it mixes with black it gives very soft muted green accents. And the other dove, same principle. Firstly, I'm glazing the whole body of the dove with relatively clean water. Of course, it helps a lot that I already painted with a little bit of black, and water in my glass jar is not super clean. So I distribute water around the body. No need to be super precise. It is to prepare the working area where you will apply later on darker brush strokes. So I mixed my black with just a bit of red, with cadmium red, and with this mix I go around the wings and the body, creating a bit of volume. So I add shadows in between wings and shadows around the body, and I bravely add green hues to the wings. The purpose is to make it more interesting, not make it boring, not use one single pigment. Once you get a little bit of freedom of mixing colors, it will make your watercolors more unique. And of course we need to emphasize the beak and add some shadows to the tail. Basically it's just brush strokes. Sometimes I use tip of the brush to create a little bit of finer lines, and sometimes I press on the body of the brush, and I can use a variety of pressure on my brush, and that's how I create variety of brush strokes. Now let's add more accents to the wings to divide them slightly one from another. Just look at your painting and you will see where where you can add some accents. Like this. I would like to add some floral ornaments around. I use my green, it's cobalt green, and I paint leaves, and I paint them very loose. It's just long brush strokes. I start with the tip of the brush, pressure on the brush, and then release the pressure. And now I can add a little bit of olive green, same principle. I also try to touch one green to attach one green to another green, so all paints are mixing with each other. And I like to add some movement, some curviness to the greenery around. But basically, it's just brush strokes, starting with the tip of the brush, body of the brush, and then you release the pressure. Tip of the brush, body of the brush, and maybe attach another brush stroke around. And I very randomly paint the leaves and the branches, just feeling the white space between the turtle doves, dancing with my brush. I very often change brushes, I change greens I use. As I will repeat myself, the whole point is to make it interesting, to add variety, not to make it boring. Sometimes I dilute the mix with just water from my glass jar. Sometimes I use paints right from pens. One of my brush is loaded with cobalt green. Another brush is loaded with olive green. This is very convenient because I don't need to wash brushes when I would like to change colors. It's very time efficient tip, and I recommend you to use it, especially if you don't like to wash precious pigments all the time. At this point, I truly just look how I can arrange, the branches around. I try to move my wrist in different directions, and therefore I move the brush in different directions. Always, what I try to vary is the amount of water in the brush. Sometimes more water, sometimes less water, and this is how it all getting together, how it all blossoming, how it all work together. Two brushes, two paints, and a different amount of water, and that's how we have a variety. Try to create spontaneous and curvy lines. It's very rare in nature when branches are straight, when leaves are straight. There is always some wind which makes everything loose, moving, curvy. I added a little bit of black into my olive green. I like to add black into watercolor paints, as you probably know. It creates nice, beautiful mixes. It creates depth. So don't afraid of mixing with blacks. Now I would like to add a couple of elements on the bottom side of the paper, but it's same principle, same brush strokes. It's a very relaxing way of painting. And for example, if you don't want to paint turtle doves, you can paint anything else here. You can, for example, write down Merry Christmas and paint these greenery around the letters. Can be awesome. Or you can paint a portrait of someone and paint greenery around, or just leave a place for a portrait, create the floral frame in the same style. So I always have so many ideas, so I keep adding pressure on the brush. Sometimes you see I paint just with the tip of the brush. Sometimes I wash my brush and add a lot of water. Now I would like to add flowers. I use alizarin crimson, but my brush is a little bit dirty. I didn't wash it enough. So I get these very muted maroon colored berries. Just circle movements. I mix everything I have, and now I switch to my bigger brush. I would like to add more leaves. Leaves also necessary to fill in the white areas, especially if you have some big white areas. You can just place your brush next to the branch or next to another leaf, just brush with water, and then you will create a new path to your paints. This is how you create these beautiful mixes of watercolor. That's how one color goes into another color. Now let's add a little bit more of berries. What's important that I place them randomly. And I have black mixed with my red, with alizarin crimson. It all together that creates maroon, a little bit dusty purple red. So it's not extremely bright red. I like these muted tones. I like this vintage touch of the painting. And sometimes I try to avoid painting with ready-made bright paints, just to make it slightly more interesting. As you see, I don't try to make them precisely round. It's just touching the paper with the tip of the brush. And what's important, try to arrange them differently. Now I turn the paper upside down. Also, it's convenient, and also it will change slightly the perspective from which we look at the paper, and that also will help to place elements slightly random. Now I go with my brush just right into the pen to grab the most bold color I have, so I can paint middle veins for some leaves. Some leaves are dry and the middle vein also dry, and some leaves are still wet, and then I get these uneven, fluffy middle vein, and I like them both. I like the variety, and this variety, that's what makes your watercolor interesting. On the other side, always try to place your paper convenient for your hand. And not everywhere, I'm not aiming to add middle veins everywhere. It's not botanical illustration. We shouldn't be precise. It's more ornamental painting, more loose. Now I have my mix of red and black. I would like to add a couple of details to the doves, to the wings, add a bit more of outline, so doves will pop up. Now they a little bit lost in the greenery, but I don't outline the full body. I pick up a couple of spots, sides, and add black, add dark very randomly, and then I wash my brush, and with clean damp brush I soften those edges. I don't want to have too sharp edges, so I'm working with my clean damp brush, softening the paints. Ornamental painting, more folkloric looking painting, and this is the beauty. You can imagine yourself, you're painting an illustration for a kid's book, for example, or for some other book. So again, with another dove, first dark outline, and then with wet brush go on one side and soften the edges. And I'm not washing my brush, I just use what I got into the brush to separate the feathers on the wings a little bit. Maybe add some details to the body, to the tail. Toning and toning paper, and now just small dots for the eyes. With the berries also, some of them are bigger, some of them are smaller, some of them more transparent, some of them more bold, and basically it's just dots, but they all a little bit different, And as a final touch, just a couple of accents for the doves. They are the main heroes, so it's okay to work a little bit more of them, but try not to overdo it. Just a couple of details. Although they're looking symmetrical, I'm not trying to paint them identical. It's nice if they're different, not mirroring them. One is slightly bigger, one is smaller, and this is our turtle doves ready.
Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I'm looking forward to know what would you like to paint next. See you soon. Bye bye.